All right, you guys, it is 8 o'clock and I am going to go ahead and get started. I only see Alithia right now. I think I said that right. That is the coolest name ever. But I am going to go ahead and get started with you guys. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Sorry, I had an email that was distracting me. I need to close out my screens. Okay, so I am Rachel Mitchell, and I am co-leading this training call with Megan Blinka. Megan is on vacation this week, but I am tackling this call for you guys. So I am going to talk to you guys tonight about what it should be like in your second week of this business. So last week we went over some things like launching your business, like putting your story out there, starting to post on social media. We showed you around your Coach Online office and how to use the resources that we have given you. So our goal for you guys, we put all this information into your new coach training group, and it is there for you guys to use. And I'm just going to mute you guys real quickly, but unmute yourself if you need to talk. Please feel free to do that. But we put all this information in our new coach training for you guys. This is the same training with the exception of the fact that things have changed a little bit in regards to social media and maybe how we put our story out there. But essentially, this business is the same as whenever I started 4 years ago. And one thing that I love, I was listening to a Craig Holiday call today, and one thing that I love is that success in this business is like when you come into this business, the opportunities to succeed are the same, the exact same for everyone, okay? We all come in with different strengths. We all come in with different stories, but that is a really, really cool part about coaching is there is no mold that you have to fit to be a successful coach. You just have to have you have to be breathing. You have to be willing to get healthy and fit and to work on that and to never give up on that and to be willing to share your story and to boldly invite people to do it along with you. And so this is a social media business. There are so many network marketing things out there, but I love that we don't have to pay for advertising. We don't have to pay to put our story out there. We just have to start sharing. And so if you're not posting on social media, then you really don't have a business. So the goal is for you, and this was hard for me, I'll be honest, because I came from a background of not posting at all on Facebook or Instagram. Not at all, but like maybe once a week I would post, and it was usually something about my kids. But in order to run this business, you have to start posting at least 2 to 3 times a day. And like I said, if you're not posting, if you're not sharing on social media, then you don't have a business. You're not sharing your story. And it's pretty easy, honestly, to hit those first few, get those first few challengers just by talking to people that you know about this opportunity. But you're going to have to start building that solid foundation on social media because honestly, I kind of look at that like your insurance for your business. You know, you have to be behind the scenes, talking to people one-on-one, starting conversations, inviting people to this challenge group one-on-one. We cannot rely on our social media posts, but our social media posts just back up the conversations that we're having in private. So the two go hand in hand. So if I invite someone to a challenge group and I'm like, oh, it's great, we're gonna work out, we're gonna drink the superfoods, we're gonna like hold each other accountable, it's gonna be faith-based, and somebody goes to my page and they've seen nothing except for like posts that I've shared from somebody else's page or funny photos or something like that. They don't see anything motivational or about health and fitness or about food or about faith. Then they're gonna be like, what is this girl talking about? Like she is like saying one thing, but her social media says nothing about what she's inviting me to. So, but on the other hand, if you look at it like, oh, this person just invited me to this challenge group and she says we're gonna do this, this, and that, and you go to my page and you see me working out every day and you see me sharing motivational quotes and you see me sharing success stories for my challengers and my coaches, that gives me credibility and that makes someone want to join me in a challenge group or on my team. And so we've got to be posting and not relying on that just for our challengers, but really as more of insurance for our invites. Okay, so what do you post about? That was kind of my thing in the beginning. It was really hard for me to go from not posting at all. And when I started as a coach, guys, they told us to post 3 to 5 times a day, like, because it was different back then. It was really different back then, and more people were online, and it was not like it is today where you just see people selling stuff all the time. Now I feel like posting twice, 3 times a day with good, solid social media content that adds value, or that is an invite, or that is motivational, is enough. And then behind the scenes, we've got stories and personal invites. But posting is, if people learn about who you are through your posts. So what I always challenge new coaches to do, and what I want you to do tonight before you go to bed, or if you're watching this back, I want you to sit down and I want you to say, okay, who's Holly? Who is Holly? Like, if I ask my best friend or my husband to describe me in like 5 or 6 words, like, what would he say? You know, for me personally, I focus on things like, I'm a boy mom. You know, I was a full-time teacher. Now I'm a part-time teacher. I love history. I love fitness and food. Obviously, faith is a huge part of who I am. You know, I'm a boy mom, so we do lots of stuff outside. I'm always sharing funny things that the boys are doing. And whatever it is that defines you, like, you can be bold about talking about those things, because people are going to be attracted to your story. And you got, like, I seriously, like, I'm 4 years into this, and I still sometimes find myself battling comparison. Like, my posts don't look like hers, or my stories don't look like hers, or my whatever doesn't look like hers. But guys, it's not supposed to. And the more we try to look like someone else, then the less that we are being effective in sharing our story and helping someone that needs to hear what we have to say. So sit down, make a list of things, 5, 6, 7 things that define who you are. And I even, like, I have a list over here on a whiteboard of things that, like, if I go dry, if I go blank and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make a post today. What do I need to post about? I can look at my list and I can say, okay, I haven't talked about my boys in a while. You know, like, I can take a picture of them playing in the backyard, or we went for a walk tonight and I made a picture in a story. And just all I said was, like, good day, full heart, you know, like, and it just portrayed who I am. I have a mom of boys. We love to be outside. We were out walking after dinner. You know, I was trying to get them active. And that portrayed who I was with very little effort. So don't overthink what you want to post about. I do encourage you consistently, whether you're doing it every day, whether you're doing it every day in your stories, whether you're doing it 3 or 4 times a week, like, people need to see that you are doing what you are inviting them to do. That's being proof that the products work. That's one of the vital behaviors. And so, you know, posting your workout selfie, but not just posting a workout selfie, not just saying, okay, 21 Day Fix done, but saying, you know, I got up. I had to get up an hour early before work, but it's that important to me because life is crazy. And I know if I don't do it now, I won't do it ever. Or, you know, but tell part of your story when you post that workout selfie. It can be 2 sentences. It can be, some people like to write long posts. Some people write really short posts. Find your style, find your speaking voice, and go with it, and be consistent in doing that. Okay. So posting on social media is definitely a huge part of that. And it's really important when I say to post 2 to 3 times a day. Don't, like, make all your posts from like 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Like, well, you need to spread those out throughout the day, because people are on social media online at different times. So for me, I have figured out, you kind of play with it and see when the best time to post is. For me personally, I really need to get my workout selfie up and posted between 6 and 6:30. No later than that. If I do it later than that, then most of the people who follow me, who are like me, they're either out the door headed to work, or they are wrangling kids or getting kids to school or something like that. So early morning for my fitness post is really good for me, or even if it's motivational, it doesn't matter. Lunchtime is a really good time. And then again, I usually post after like 8 or 8:30, because that's when most people my age, my lifestyle, have put their kids to bed, and they're at home and probably scrolling social media. So I find that when I make a challenge group post, that late in the evening is a really good time to do that. But here's the thing, guys. I want to challenge you to do this too. Make out your list of things that define you, things that you can pull from time to time. Maybe you do CrossFit. Maybe you like to sew. Maybe you are a cancer survivor. I don't know. Maybe you're in the military or something like that. Like, make your list and then make out a plan. So this is something I really, really rely on and that I have to do. Otherwise, my life is crazy. I make out a plan for my social media posts and even for my stories for the week. So I'll actually show you. I will show ya what mine looks like, but don't let this overwhelm you because this is totally me. And this is just where I am at. Okay, so let me hide this. This is actually my social media plan for the week. I made this for my team to show them how I do it. But so I just planned it around my life. So Monday today was supposed to be VBS, but we were sick, so I didn't do that in my challenge groups, but I will do that. On Mondays, I usually have a theme of Mom Crush Monday and just shout out another challenger. Instagram stories, I knew that I wanted to do an Instagram story series about Lift 4 and opening some more spots. I always, every single day in my stories, try to show how I work my business. And tonight I'm going to make a post, a coaching post, because I knew I was going to do this call, and I have this list of coaching post ideas up here. And I'm going to post when we get off about this call and how coaching, I never expected that I would get so much out of it, but it's given me a deeper sense of purpose. I'm going to talk about that. On Tuesday, I'm going to make a blog post for me personally about my She Reads Truth Bible, because people ask me about it all the time for my stories. I'm going to do a Transformation Tuesday and Invite to Lift 4. I'm going to talk in my stories about coaching, and then I have on here I need to make a brain dump, an organization plan. Then Wednesday, I'm going to do recipe swap in my challenge groups. I'm going to do an IGTV thing for about answering common questions that I get. I'm going to talk about what I ate on Wednesday, share a 2B concept, and then in Instagram stories, again, show how I work my business, recognize a challenger. Please don't let this overwhelm you. This is just my plan, but I'm planning it around my life, right? So Thursday is always meal planning day for me and my challenge groups, and so I can talk about that on social media. On Thursday, I plan to make a coaching post. Thursday is payday, so I'm going to talk about the fact that we got new floors in our back bedrooms. That's not big and sexy, but 4 years ago, we could not have paid for that. There's no way we could have paid for that. So do you see what I'm doing? Like, I'm just taking my life, what's happening this week in my life, and I'm planning my coaching posts around that. Saturdays are always about family. I usually share some type of motivation post, I share something that I'm eating, but definitely show what me and my family are doing. And so I've got over here on notes, like, you've got to share your personal life daily, because if you're just talking about workouts, you're just talking about clean eating, yes, that's good information, but show people who you are in addition to that, you know? So if I never post about my boys, then boy moms or moms of young kids are not going to know, you know, that that's part of my story. If I never post about my faith or what we do for extracurricular activities, people are not going to know. People connect to your interests and who you are, even outside of coaching, as much as they do to the fitness and the food and all that stuff. So definitely keep it personal. Every post should just be part of your story. All right. And it takes practice like that. I'm not going to lie. It takes practice. It took me a while to get to where I could kind of flow with my posts and definitely, you know, kind of put that whole story together. It's going to feel odd at first, but you're going to get into this groove. You're even going to find a voice maybe that you didn't know that you had. Like, that is definitely what happened for me. Like, I went from this shy, introverted girl who didn't really feel like I had much value to add to someone. Now I feel like I have a voice. Now I feel like I have a purpose. And it's taken time. It's taken practice. It's taken making some really crappy posts and some really good posts to get to that point. And so it becomes more natural. And honestly, guys, if you're consistent in doing this, if you're consistent in working out, if you're consistent in motivating, if you're consistent in just sharing your personal story, you're going to inspire people. Like, there's no way around it. You will inspire people. You will have people that start to message you out of the blue, people that you don't even know are watching you, and they'll message you and say, hey, you know what? Like, I've been watching you for a while, and I got up and I got off the couch and I went for a walk today because I knew I was going to see your post, and I knew it was going to make me feel bad about laying on the couch, but I wanted to say thank you. I can remember one of those very early messages very early on. Somebody said that exact thing to me. And so people will be inspired. And like I said, all your posts don't have to be fitness related. They should not use Beachbody lingo at all. I have been talking about Lift 4, but if you follow me and you notice, like I really don't say Lift 4 a lot. But I'm talking about this 4-day-a-week lift and hit program. I'm kind of giving the details without actually using the Beachbody lingo, okay? That really does. I feel like that would turn me off, and it turns off a lot of people. Because Beachbody is wonderful, Shakeology is wonderful, these programs are wonderful, but people are turned off by a lot of like lingo and things like that. Some other things that you can do with your posts, for a couple times a week, I try to plan in what I call like an engagement post. So I might share a side-by-side picture of me wearing 2 different outfits. So say like when we went to Summit, I did this a lot, but which outfit should I choose for a date night, or which outfit should I choose for my family pictures, or we're going out to eat this weekend in Memphis. I've heard these 2 restaurants are great. Can you give me a recommendation? Ask people questions, and even in your daily posts, like ask people questions. I think I did that today where, when I did the broom, I took the workout selfie with my broom this morning, and I was like, problems with your own gym is you have to clean it. And I said something about little boys running in and out, and I said, mamas, can you relate? And so I got some engagement. I got people that posted or commented on that post because I asked a question. So definitely ask questions in your post. That takes practice too, but you'll get kind of in the groove of doing that. But definitely create some engagement posts that don't have anything to do with Beachbody or health and fitness. People love to give their opinion. And so like if you ask them for it, you are going to get engagement. And so what that does, what's the point of that? What that does is it helps people relate to you. If people comment on your post, it's like they're starting a conversation with you, and they've started a relationship with you. And it also gives you an opportunity to message that person one-on-one and say, hey, thanks for helping me pick out that outfit. Like I'm really horrible. I always struggle with what to wear, and I just really needed some advice. Thanks so much. And that gives you an opportunity to start a conversation with them and start a relationship, okay? And so that is really, it's kind of fun. I think it's fun to do that. Like I tell people like all the time, we are in the relationship building business, and I'm making new girlfriends like every single day. That's kind of the way I look at it. So definitely your post can do that. As far as your pictures, do you guys have any questions about posts, like what to post, how to post, those things like Instagram or Facebook? We'll dive deeper into those things in the training, but like I just want to like get you to understand the importance of consistency. And you may not realize it yet, but you're building a brand for yourself by just being you. You're building a brand for yourself, okay? The next thing I really want to talk about is photos. Let's see, I had this pulled up, so let me share it again. Where did it go? Hold on just a second. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you, and that way you can see what I want you to see. Okay. All right, you guys can see my phone. Can you see that image of my phone? All right, so photos are really, really important. And like I said, your feed should reflect who you are. So I want to show you some of my favorite photo apps first. These are some of my favorites. The ones I use the most to edit my photos are Snapseed, and I use WordSwag a lot. HypeType is something that I use for Instagram stories, but Snapseed is one that I use a lot. So it allows me to take a photo and edit it. I did this one tonight. I'm going to use this for my coaching post tonight. But you can open a photo from your phone. So here's one that I took tonight. And you click on tools, and you have to play with it to get, to figure it all out. But I usually tune my image. I can make it brighter. I can change the contrast of it. I can change the shadows. But again, this is kind of like a branding thing. And I can give it just this kind of image that I want it to have. You can do all kinds of things to it, but it's really cool. And that's what I do to edit my photos, to kind of create this consistent look for them. Again, I'm building a brand is what I'm doing. And so that is one that I use a lot. And I encourage you, like Megan, if you follow her, I think she uses drama a lot. I'm not really sure, you'd have to ask her, but she kind of has that look to her photos. And so, but it's consistent. And that makes people, when they see your photo, they're like, oh, that's Megan, or that's Rachel, because it's very consistent. Word swag is one that I like to use for my challenge groups. So like if I put words on a photo, this allows me to do that. It's super user friendly. Oops, let's see. Pull up some photos. I wanted to use that one, and you can even make it fit for like an Instagram story. Down at the bottom it says Instagram story, so you can like actually write on your photos. It gives you things to put on there, like if you want a quote or something like that, and you can save it and change the font and things like that. These are both free. These are free apps, okay? And I use them on my phone. So those are some of the ones I use the most frequently. If I want to make a collage, I like this Instagram layout, and I can just put some photos together and create like a collage for myself, okay? That one's called, what is that called? I don't remember. It's called Layout, and that's what it looks like. So those are some of the ones, and my photos on Instagram have a white square around them, and I use the Square Ready, and it just allows me to take a photo. Like I'll take that one, and I can put a white square around it. So it creates consistency. Again, it creates a brand around my Instagram. See how I have those white photos around it? White frames, that's what I do. And so again, you know, my photos, although maybe not like perfectly consistent, they do have this kind of look that I give to all my photos, and that's part of my brand. So your photos are important. Your photos are important. So just play with it. Don't feel like you have to conquer that like right away, but just find an app that you like, figure it out, play with it, and start to create that consistent look to your photos. It's very important that your pictures are clear. There's nothing worse, like, yeah, if you think about it, like scroll through social media for a minute tonight and scroll through people and what they post, and look at the photos that you'll start to notice. You don't stop to read when you see a bad photo. But when you see a bright photo that's very eye-catching, then you're probably going to read what the people have to say. So make sure that your pictures are clear, that they reflect who you are. Do not use stock photos. I never ever use stock photos because people just keep on scrolling. They can see stock photos all day long. What they want to see is what's happening in your life. So, you know, get bold about it. Like Holly, I love how you've done some really good photos lately. I love the one of like your legs, and you know, like it was, and there, I can see you kind of inching out there and getting bolder and bolder. So that's really cool. But when I see your photos, I already like, I kind of see Holly. So even before I see the name. So that's really good. A couple of just like housekeeping things. Your let me show you your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed should your Facebook, I'm trying to get to my Facebook, although this is not a good one, but I have a like page now that I use, but your Facebook feed should reflect you. So like your profile picture should not be a picture of your cat. It should not be a picture of books. It should be a picture of you. Your Facebook cover, these are so simple and easy to create in Canva. When I'm on my computer, I don't use this app on the phone very much, but Canva is one that I use a lot, C-A-M-V-A. And there's even a template to make a Facebook cover photo. And so you can create one for yourself. That's how you did this one. But it needs to be a picture of you. So like on my like page, which is what I use the most now, I've only just started doing that a whole lot, but it has pictures of me and my family, and a picture of me working out, and a picture of my team, and so it should reflect who you are. So maybe you put a picture up there of your family, of you working out, of some food or something like that, so people know that, hey, this chick is about health and fitness, or this chick is about faith, or whatever it is, your things that are about you. My intro, if you can see this, I don't have anything about Beachbody on there, but it says faith, fitness, food, and family. Jesus is my savior. Clean eating is my jam. It has my blog on there. And then there's a link to my like page, and that's it. Like, honestly, that's it. Like, I don't want people to come to my page and see my Beachbody link, because when I see that type of thing on other people's page, I just kind of, it does not attract me. So there's nothing wrong with it, but that's me personally. And then I have these highlight photos of me and my family. There's one of me working out, and that's it. It should reflect who you are, and including your lifestyle as a health and fitness coach. Okay. And so in your posts, what is the purpose of your posts? Again, you want to create consistency, you want to create a brand, but some other things that you can do with your posts, and that I do every single day, is I handle those objections that I'm getting in my conversations. So if you started inviting people to this opportunity, to a challenge group, to coaching, whatever it is, you've probably already gotten objections. If you haven't, then I'm going to say you're not inviting people to anything, because you're getting objections. Things like, oh, that costs too much, or I love to eat, I don't want to eat clean, I don't have time to work out, like I don't have the equipment to work out, I don't have the money to join a gym. And so those are all things that I will address in my posts. So you've seen me talk a lot lately, probably especially about Lift 4, the fact that, whoa, that was a 20-minute workout. I'm done. I can like hang out with my kids or go do something with my kids. Like, I'll talk about that with BBS this week, because it's great to get like a 20-minute, 30-minute workout in, but I still made time for myself. That's handling the time objection. Today, I did the one about problems with your home gym is that you have to clean it, but it's clear that I don't go to a gym to work out. Like, I don't have to get in a car. I don't have to pay a gym fee. I don't have to drive there and drive back. Like, I used to do that. And that was 20, 30 minutes out of my day that I just don't really have anymore. And I still get results, obviously. Like, I still get fitness results working out at home. And so that is handling an objection for people who think that you need to be at a gym to be able to be healthy and fit, right? I talk a lot about the fact that, I can work out around my kids. Like, I love for my kids to see me work out, because that's me leading by example. That's something important to me, and that I can do that for my family. I talk about the fact that I used to pay for a gym membership, and now I pay like $8 a month with my Beachbody On Demand membership. I don't say Beachbody On Demand, I say like Netflix of workouts. But I pay like $8 a month, whereas I used to pay like 40 or 50 for me and Matt to go to the gym. And so, people that say I can't afford it, boom, that just like shoots it down. And there are tons of people walking around with a gym membership who don't go, right? And so that's a way to handle objection. People who say that clean eating is boring, I love to post beautiful pictures of my food. I love to post pictures of I love things like sriracha sauce and jalapenos and even ranch dressing. Like, I didn't give up my ranch dressing to be healthy. I just watch how much I eat, right? And so you can handle objections. Shakeology costs. Like, from time to time, I will make a post about the fact that I almost didn't invest in this superfood shake, because I thought it was stupid to pay for a bag of powder when I could get it at like GNC. But, I realized I was eating out at least once a day. I was getting Cokes out of the Coke machine. And when I stopped doing all those things, it more than paid for the shake that I'm drinking. That has improved my health tenfold, right? And so that's me handling an objection through my posts. That's another thing. I really try to work Shakeology into my stories, like just show people that I'm drinking it without saying, oh, I'm drinking Shakeology. I don't do that. I used to do that. I don't do it anymore. But I just make sure it's in a picture, or that people know that I drink it every single day, so that whenever I invite them to do it with me, they're like, well, she does it. So, maybe I could do that, right? And so that's one thing I do with my posts as well. But also, if you're looking for content, if you're looking for words for your posts to inspire, I'm looking around, I can't find my book, but that Compound Effect book, as a new coach, I would pull so much stuff from the Compound Effect just to get my brain rolling, just to motivate me, because that book is just as much about health and fitness as it is about building a business. Consistency, building momentum, keeping it going, changing the way you think. You know, I mean, I used all that stuff for my health and fitness posts in the beginning, as I used the quotes and stuff. And I love still to show people what I'm learning through my personal development, because that's a coaching behavior. And if people are attracted to that, then they would probably make a really good coach. Okay. But all that to say, with your posts, with your pictures, find your voice. Find your voice, find your brand, play with it, practice it. Don't think you're going to figure it all out in the first month, because you're not. But the more you do it, the more confident you will become, and the more that you will attract people to you and to your story. All right. So that's what I want to encourage you with in your stories. In your posts. And Instagram stories is a whole nother thing. Like, if you're not doing stories, you've got to start doing stories. It's not hard. Do you guys know how to make an Instagram story? Yeah, I think most people do. Alicia, do you know how to do that? Okay, all right. Yeah, probably, because we got VBS tomorrow. Yeah. Definitely be using your stories. They're so fun. Like, it overwhelmed me at first, but I would aim to make, like, throughout the day 10 stories. And you can do things like show a couple of workout moves that you're doing. You can show what you're eating for lunch. You can show something fun that you and your family are doing. You can do boomerangs. You can put polls on there. You can put Instagram stories, are where you can kind of get crazy with your photos and stuff. You can do little gifs. I don't know how you say that. You can put the time of day, you can tag people. It's just really fun, and it's a good way to show people more of your personality and kind of like what's happening, like, in the moment. Instagram, like your feed, and Facebook are more kind of put together, and Instagram stories are where you can just be fun with it and really show people your personality. And you can even advertise for challenge groups. Start using those polls. Start asking people, like, hey, do you want to do this workout with me next Monday? Do you want to join a group of women who are getting fit together? And use those polls and see what you get. And that's a good way to start conversations too. Okay. Because if you're not advertising, you're not going to get challengers, like I said. So tonight, has anybody this week, what's today, Monday, have you made a challenge group ad post for this week? If you have not, I'm about to walk you through how to do it, and you're going to put one out there either tonight or tomorrow. If it's late where you are and there's not a lot of people online, don't do it tonight. You can do it in your stories, because they're there for 24 hours. But if you have not made a challenge group ad post this week, you're going to do it tonight or tomorrow night, okay? And a challenge group ad, all it is again, you just saying, hey, this is my story. Let me find one while I'm talking. It's get a good picture of you. It can be a workout picture. Tomorrow's Transformation Tuesday. You can do a transformation if you have it to share. If you don't worry about that. You don't have to have one to share. I'm working right now. Okay. You don't have to have a challenge group post to share. A transformation post to share, but let me find one that I shared recently of a challenge group post. I should have had this pulled up already, but I don't. But it's just very simple. You tell something personal about your story, maybe a struggle that you had in the beginning. You share how you overcame it. Like, how did you get started in your first health and fitness group? What were your expectations? What was it really like? And then you say, hey, this worked for me. It brought me out of this hole that I was in, and I am so passionate about helping other women find the same results that I am offering, 3 spots in my next health and fitness challenge group. Okay, here's one. I got one. Sorry. Kind of talking out of my head. Let's see. This is a transformation post. It doesn't have to be a transformation post, but this one was. I said, let's see. It says, I remember how scared I was at the beginning 4 years ago, but oh my goodness, what if I hadn't done it? I can't even imagine where I'd be today. God has used fitness to change my life in so many ways, and I'm on a mission to help other mamas feel their best, take back control. And I just said this was kind of a game to see who would comment on it. First 50 people to drop a heart, and I'll send you access to the workout that I was doing. That's not the best example, but it is a good example of me saying, hey, this is where I was 4 years ago. This is what I was struggling with. I'm very thankful that I did this. It's changed my life, and I want to help other women through these health and fitness programs, okay? So that's an example. So just share your story. Tell people where you've come from, what you've done to get on track, and how you want to help them do the same thing. What are you offering? Share, you know, my coach allowed me, just like your coach announcement, you know, my coach has invited me to help 3 women get started in this new workout program that we're doing. We're starting next Monday. We're going to work out from home 4 days a week, 30-minute workouts, start to change the way we eat, and you know, invite God into our journey. If you want a spot, or if you want to learn more about what I'm doing and doing it with me, then just send me a personal message or drop a heart below. You know, like give them some very clear call to action, and tell people what you have to offer, when it starts, tell them what to do. Like you have to tell people what to do, and always give a deadline. Say my challenge group starts next Monday, July 16th. I've got 3 spots left. Just message me or leave your name below, and I will tell you more about it. Now, you're not going to get a ton of people who are like, oh, add me, or tell me more about it. You might, honestly, but a lot of people are just kind of figuring out what you're about, what you're offering, what are you even doing yourself. And so don't expect to put a post out there and everybody just be there to jump on board, because they don't even know if you're going to stick with it yet. Again, that's where the consistency comes in. But again, this is practice. Like I put out a challenge group post at least 3 times a week, or a coaching post. And so I am just consistently showing people what I have to offer through these posts. And it's not a link. It's not a stock photo. It's not me saying, click this link to buy something. No. Okay. All right. We'll get you something. It's me telling people what my fears were, what struggles I've overcome, and how I did it, and offering to help other people do the same. That is what a challenge group ad is. Again, it's going to take practice. If you're not doing them, if you're not putting them out there, then you're never going to get good at it. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys are really good with words, and you've got to just start using that to your advantage and start putting stuff out there. Just tell your story. It gets easier. And the more you do it, then the more people will think, oh, okay, so she really is sticking with this and she's helping people do this. So I need to do this too. Okay. But it can't end there. You have to invite people personally. We can't rely on these posts. Again, like in the beginning, I would get like 2 or 3 likes on a post. A lot of times like 0 comments for a really long time. And so, you know, you're just building your brand and your credibility there, but you've got to be inviting people one-on-one and having conversations with them. And that is where this business activity tracker comes in. I'm going to pull that out. So on this business activity tracker, if you have not printed it out, it is like your lifeline for coaching, especially in the beginning. You've got to be adding 3 new people to your social media every day. That simply means like adding people as friends. It's very easy. Click, 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 added them as friends. Write their name down, right? You do it on Instagram and Facebook. Making your posts, we talked about that. Starting 3 new conversations a day. How do you do that? Hey, Sally, I liked your pants that you wore in that photo. Do you mind to tell me where you got them? Genuine connections. Don't be fake. Don't lie. Don't make stuff up. But, you know, like as you start to follow people, you're going to attract people like you, and you're probably going to follow people like you, and you just start conversations with them. I love to do this. This is one of my favorite things to do as a coach, like I said, is just to make friends with people. And so, like today, for example, on Instagram, I was following some women, and I just kept coming across people who were making these really inspirational, like very moving posts. And so that was a great opportunity for me to say, hey, that was an amazing post. Thank you so much. You inspired me. Or it doesn't even have to be deep or anything like that. It can just be a comment on someone's clothes or their photo, or, you know, like I connect people that I went to college with. And it can be anything, but every single day I start new conversations with women that I have started to follow on social media, okay? And that's one of the things that I do. And eventually, those relationships, For like 10 minutes. Yes. Sorry. And eventually those conversations, those new relationships become people that you can invite to your challenge group. Okay. And so it does take a little bit of time, but I love to build my business this way. I love to build my business this way. I am not one of those coaches. I was a little bit in the beginning because I was taught this way to send out a lot of cold invites, like to people, just new friends, say, hey, do you want to join my challenge group? But I don't like that, and I didn't want to do that to other people. So you have to start with people that you know. You have family and friends. You have people that you work with. You have cousins and aunts and husbands and sisters and, friends that you've known for years that you can invite to your challenge group. That's your warm market. That's people that you already know that you can invite to this challenge group. And all you have to say to them is, hey, Sally, you know what? I started working out. I started eating clean. I started drinking the superfood shake. And I've actually found this group of women who are doing the same things with me. And it's so inspiring. And I want to see if you want to do this with me and get results too. You can send that to a bunch of people that you know, right? That's your warm market. But while you're doing that inviting now, while you're getting those people to join you now, you're starting these conversations, you're building these relationships, you're forming new friendships with people that eventually you will invite to your challenge group and people who will start to follow you and be inspired by you, okay? So now, right now, what do? You start with people, like I said, that you know, invite them to your challenge group. Be bold. Don't be afraid to invite people. If they say no, they say no. They're saying no to something like health and fitness. They might join you later, okay? But get out. If you go in your Coach Online office, there's something called a memory jogger, and it just kind of takes you through, like, who cuts your hair? Who do you go to church with? Who are your kids' teachers? Like, who do you see at the grocery store every week? Get out there and make a list. I'm challenging you guys to make a list of like 50 people that you can invite to a challenge group this week, okay? And we all know at least 50 people that we could probably invite. And that sounds like a lot, but it's really not, because you have to think that probably 1 to 2 people out of every 10 that you invite are going to say yes. You might have more, there's no guarantee, but like that's kind of the ratio that you're working with at this point. And all those other people that say no, it doesn't mean they're never going to join you. It just means that no, not right now. It's not a good time. Maybe they don't understand exactly what you're doing. Maybe they need more information. Or maybe it's summertime and they think they can't do it right now. But if we're inviting people, then your business is moving forward. Okay. So that's what we're going to start doing right now. And so when you invite those people, I have a pretty general rule, because follow up is on this business activity tracker. Follow up with 3 people every day. I have a pretty general rule that I follow up with people within 24 to 48 hours if they've responded, or even if they have not responded to my message, because you have to think, how many messages have you gotten before where you saw it, you opened it, and then you forgot about it because your kid threw up in the back seat, or you had to run through a red light or you were at a red light and you had to go, not run through a red light. But like you had to keep going, and so people are busy. People see your messages and they forget to respond, or maybe they see your message and they're like, I don't really know what she's talking about, because it's new, and you follow up and you're like, hey, Sally, I sent you this message. I saw that you saw it. I just wanted to follow up to see if you had any questions. I would love to do this with you. Are you working towards any health and fitness goals right now? Just start conversations with people. You'd be surprised what response you'll get from people. And they're like, oh, I need to, or, I've got like 50 pounds I need to lose, or I just can't stop eating the Oreos, or, just asking that question opens a door for people to start talking to you. So don't be afraid to follow up with people, and don't drag out your conversations. Right? Be bold about asking them, inviting them to your challenge group, and be bold if they're answering your questions. If you're helping them connect with why they want to get healthy and fit, then say, hey, I really think that you would love this accountability group that I'm a part of. Can I tell you more about it? And I always send, I have a copy and paste description of my challenge group. It reflects who I am. It reflects what we do in the group. It's very bold. It's very encouraging. It talks about our faith, the faith focus, and it is what my challenge groups are. And so whenever people read it, they're usually like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. Like, how do I get signed up? And then I tell them about the challenge pack and Shakeology and all that. And you will have objections. You will have people that say, oh, that's too much. I can't spend that much. And you know what? you feel, felt, found them. Do you know what that means? Feel, write that down. Feel, felt, found. You say, I understand how you feel. I felt the exact same way. I didn't want to buy Shakeology either. I didn't buy Shakeology for me personally 3 months. But what I found was that when I finally invested in it, is it was great. Like it was worth what I spent on it. And I figured out that actually by meal planning and cutting out the crap, like I could afford it. Like I was not spending more than I was before. I was just putting better food into my body. So I feel, felt, found. You relate with them, explain what you had the same objections to, but what you found was this, okay? When I get the money objection, I totally get it because I had the same objection at first too. But I tell people that now I meal plan. I put Shakeology into our grocery budget. Matt and I both drink it. You know, it just makes sense for us, and it's worth the investment because we're a lot healthier because we drink it. So whether it's I don't have time, whether it's like I don't want to work out from home, you know, I use the feel, felt, found so that they don't think I'm just like trying to sell them something, you know, like I'm a real person too. I had these same exact thoughts. And so that's how I handle objections. And some people are still going to say no. Some people are going to be not right now, but whatever, don't mark them off your list. Do not mark them off your list because you will be so surprised when you stick with this, when you stay consistent in your posting, when you stay consistent in running a challenge group every month, when you stay consistent in inviting people, people will get on board and they will join you eventually. It may just be not right now. If they say no, they're not ready, they have some objection, I always give them something. I always leave them with something. I always tell my team, leave a little love behind. Whether it's just an encouraging note, scripture verse, or a lot of times I'll say, I understand if you're not ready, but I know you want to get started. Here's a sample meal plan that I have made in the past. Take it, follow it, see how you do for a week. And so I always leave something with them so that they don't think I was just in it for the sale, because I'm not. Like I really want to help people. And when they join my groups, like they just get more help from me, right? And so I always give them something in return. But it's really important that you track, like, who are you adding as friends? Who are you inviting? Who do you follow up with today? Who did you start connecting with today? If you're not tracking, then you're not going to take those relationships to the point that you need them to go to. So you have to be writing this down. In the beginning, I used this business activity tracker. I would just flip it over and I would write like Monday, I invited Sally, Susie, Sarah. I followed up with Molly, Mary, Megan, you know, and so I would just write down who I added as friends, who I invited, who I connected with, and who I needed to follow up with. Okay. Very simple. You can use Google Streak, you can use Google Sheets, you can do whatever, but just keep it simple, especially in the beginning. But you got to track it so that you know who to talk to, and to find out what is working and what's not working too. So that is what I have about actual like posting, inviting, challenge group ads, following up, handling objections. The other thing I want to end with is the compound effect, like personal development. Are you reading it? If you are, everything that I've said in this past 45 minutes makes complete sense to you. If you're not reading it, start now. Start now. 10 minutes before you go to bed. Put some of that good stuff into your brain. It will motivate you. It will inspire you. If you're not reading personal development, it's going to be very hard to stick with this. I thought personal development was hokey. I thought it was kind of stupid. I thought I've got my Bible, I've got my devotions, that's enough for me. But I didn't know anything about running a business. I didn't know anything about like motivation or consistency or momentum. Like I didn't know all that stuff. And the Compound Effect was the first book that I started with. And now I have like a whole library of personal development books that I feed off of. And so it makes sense to do that and incorporate that into your business. It pays off. And it also really, really helps motivate you when you need the motivation. So literally 10 minutes a day. Sometimes I listen on Audible, but I like to have a book in my hand and be able to underline. And I use a lot of the things for my personal development in my posts and in my conversations even. So do you guys have any questions for me about any of that? Anybody? You have sample. You have people you want to invite. Like I can help you with invites tonight. Like I can do whatever you need me to. No. Okay. Holly, do you have anything? You was to say something.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm
Okay.
like trying to play through the list of people that I know that,
Yeah.
you know, I've had a couple of conversations with, but, you know, are there others that I could follow up with, or,
Yeah.
you know, trying to running
Yep.
through that list.
Just make your list, track who you talk to, track who you start conversations with, and just do. Literally, guys, this is it. This is how you build this business activity tracker. And you can print it off for like the whole week, and you just check it off when you're done. And if you're doing this and you're not seeing traction, you're not seeing growth, then let's talk about it. We can talk about your conversations, how you're approaching people, what you're saying to them. But this works. Like, this is all I have done for the past 4 years. Some days it's been sloppy, some days it's been messy, some days it's been really great, but I've just learned a lot, and I've gotten into my groove and learned how to grow and share my story as time has gone by. So I know you guys will too. All right, guys, that's all I have then. I will share this recording, and you guys can just like get to work, and let's keep trucking. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.